Today we're talking Real Housewives of Atlanta Part 3 reunion. Stay tuned. Boop.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey. It's the new Pussycat Dolls, y'all. What up, AfterBuzz? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in studio for the Real Housewives of Atlanta Reunion Part 3. You know I'm joined in studio by my favorite ladies. We got Miss Shar, Jossell.
Hey, everybody.
Courtney, Stewart.
What's up, y'all?
Oh, I like that dance move. They did this it's like at the gym with the ropes.
With the heavy ropes.
All right, part 3 of the reunion. What was y'all thinking? And we picked that song because it's called Work From Home, and I feel like a lot of these ladies need to do that internally.
I wanted Panda because I got broads in Atlanta. Shout out to Designer.
Shout out to
and
the Queen
Davies.
of Thoughtland. Part 3 of the reunion.
I honestly thought that this was the best part.
Yep.
Agreed.
We could have done without.
Agreed.
Yep.
We could have done without the other two.
Maybe one.
I think they should have done one more and
maybe like
taken some effort. It
Yeah.
should have just been 2-part, then it would have been strong and fiery, and we'd have been like, yes.
If they would have spliced the first two reunions and combined them into
one episode, yeah, we would have been good.
Yep.
All right, so before we get into the reunion, little Atlanta tea. So obviously we interviewed Kenya Moore.
Yes, we
and
did.
first, shout out to Miss Kenya Moore for coming in the studio.
Thank you, girl. You stood up.
We appreciate it. And
Why didn't she come into the after show?
Schedule it
Yeah,
out.
because Miss Cynthia Bailey canceled out.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they didn't want to come on the after show or what, but I didn't think she was actually going to come because the way that they had did it, it was very like, well, we'll keep it because she had Fab Life, and it was like they were basically trying to make it seem like she wasn't. But she ended up coming through, so appreciate that, Kenya. For everyone who was watching, you guys, I don't know what you took from it. What did you take from it?
A lot of people seem to take that she was much more likable, even though they don't agree with everything. And for me, she was very likable as a person, and came in and she was smart and beautiful and great. Did I agree with everything that she said? Absolutely not. But she came in with a plan of what
she's definitely seen the AfterBuzz
I think
TV
she's definitely seen the show, and she kind of wanted to sort of give us her side for sure. Which I didn't expect anything else. I didn't suddenly expect a miraculous. No, I should have not asked that boy to leave the house and gotten
There were
whatever,
a few times she did own up to certain things that I thought she was going to be combative with, but overall it was a great sit down. Make sure you guys check it out on AfterBuzz TV. The other tea was, so on Friday I did NBC Universal Carpet, and we know Nene and Melissa Rivers do Fashion Police.
Yes.
So they showed up. Nene has, I guess she's doing these jumpsuits for her new collection, which were really cute. She's also back with Miss Gina. That's why her hair was on point.
Okay,
See
girl.
Miss Gina. But so Melissa, I guess, had to leave, so she walked away and whatnot, and Nene was like, I'm not doing any more press, and she sat in the room, and some people got upset because these girls had went over and they tapped her on the shoulder and were like, excuse me, could we grab a picture with you since you aren't going to do any?
Right.
And literally this was her face from across the room. She was like, yeah. And she did it, and I don't know who the woman was with Nene, but this woman grabbed the girl's phone out of her hand, snatched the phone out her hand, X'd out of Snapchat, and was like, you can't use Snapchat.
Oh, wow.
It was like a real, everyone just kind of froze up and stopped. So then I reached out, I said, well, hey, we'd love to get Nene on AfterBuzz TV, and she was, whoever this one was, I don't know if it was her PR or what, she was not having it. She didn't care.
That's not, I don't like hearing that. I heard Nene was very pleasant. You know, they just had the Glad Media Awards at the Beverly Hilton, and I heard that she was pleasant there.
She was on her best behavior. You never know.
She knows
her audience, so she better be on her best behavior.
But press days are long and exhausting and crazy.
But at the same time, it's
at the same time, you don't want that to happen, but you don't know what else was going on.
Always
you don't
stay
always
gracious.
assume the worst. Yeah.
The only other celebrity that I've seen or even heard about things doing something like that, I've seen this with my own 2 eyes, is The Game.
Oh yeah, he did that to me actually.
I've seen him do that to fans before when they ask for pictures. It's kind of like this, but then he'll do the picture and then be like, he's so rude.
Wait, do you want to know who also did it? And it was, look, I know we're gonna get into it, but Maya Rudolph.
That made me sad.
I was sad. I was like, Nene, I was like, okay, girl, like you from Atlanta, the Peach, God bless you, the Peach and whatnot, fine, you can throw shade, but Maya Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph was a little rude.
It was
Maybe
just
she was
weird.
just tired, man. Maybe she just tired.
But anyways, let's talk about.
Everybody can't hide it the way
I don't feel like I would. I don't know. Hold me to it.
Yeah,
because you ain't been that kind of tired yet.
That's what I'm saying.
When you have to, because I'm a person that can't hide my face and like what I'm for real thinking. So like I can imagine that I don't mean to be a dick, but like if I was like
everybody
exhausted,
has their moment.
I might make
but
a
I don't
face.
think I'll ever turn down a picture.
But shout out to Kenya Moore for coming in studio.
Thank you, Kenya.
All right, let's talk about. So Nene makes her entrance with her jumpsuit,
sparkly jumpsuit, guys.
What made you come back, Nene? That paycheck.
Of course.
Yeah.
I couldn't leave my baby with these hoes.
That would make me a good mother.
Candy had to get up. She had to go breastfeed. And they get into the whole Nene and her friendship with the girls. So they talk about Nene and Sheree, which I think...
It's funny flashbacks.
And I think it's really good to see those flashbacks and see where they are today.
Yeah. There is so much more to their flashbacks, though. They keep playing the same tired clips. There were more reads. There were more good times. And they keep... It's like, bravo, I don't know what's going on in you all's archive, library, but you all could pull some more elaborate...
The easy ones, the quick ones. Yeah.
Right.
What did you guys take from the Cynthia-Nene friendship where Nene got mad because she said, I'm not a backstabber? And Cynthia came out to say you felt Nene was a backstabber.
A backstabber? I wouldn't call her a backstabber. I just call her an asshole.
I'd say
she did it on national TV. Like she wasn't talking behind her back. Like she did it in front of everybody.
It was just a fucked up situation.
It was just a fucked up like asshole thing to do.
I say backstabber because she tried to get in the middle of Cynthia and her check.
Which that's makes you an asshole.
But that's also backstabbing. You coming from my job, like.
I felt like we saw a lot of that tonight.
We get, especially when it came to Porsha. The girls are trying to get Porsha up out of there. Well, Kim quit.
Well, yeah, but it was just interesting to me. I felt like Nene was... There was this tone with Nene, Kenya, Candy, maybe a little bit of Cynthia. But it was really heavily towards Porsha and Kim. As far as, like, Kim, it was like, girl, you're irrelevant. Like, why are you even here? Like, Nene, I felt like there was a little angst there between Nene and Kim. I don't know. Nene says, Kenya only heard her friend's side of the story, so I felt like she was misinformed.
It was one-sided.
That's a fair statement, but I mean, even as a viewer... Nene, you did the most when you and Cynthia got into it. Most. Especially when Andy did that one-on-one interview on Watch What Happens Live.
That's when she came for her
She
and the job.
dragged Cynthia by her edges up and down.
Down, back and around.
Up and down the peach.
Upside down. Okay. Yes.
So, we heard your side through the TV.
But I do got to give Nene credit because for me, that response to Kenya was the most adult I feel I've seen Nene.
Yes, it's very diplomatic.
Nene has her mature moment.
But with Kenya, though, I felt like that was the first time I had seen an adult
version
choice for her.
With Kenya.
Porsha and Phaedra shaded Nene and Jamaica. Well, Nene felt that they were shading her in Jamaica.
Which they didn't clear that up really, like why they had an attitude about it.
They said we were excited on the inside.
But why?
It's an inner crime.
I feel like there was more to that I didn't get.
Kenya and Nene, we see our friends again, and Nene just feels like Kenya just wanted to fight her.
And Kenya's like, oh, Nene, that's not true. You came for me too.
Which they did.
They did. They came for each other over and over again.
They both love playing the victim, though. They both love it.
They are
sure. They're the same person.
They both love it.
In that regard.
Yeah. Nene was surprised coming back into production that, Kim could just get up and leave set whenever she felt.
Which is why Kim Zolciak had to go, because all the girls were like, how does she just get to not come to stuff? How does she get to just not show up or show up late and blah, blah, blah.
Because it's a very real thing. With the show that I'm working on, they do not, I witnessed somebody get chewed out for trying to do that. Granted, she's a newbie, but I witnessed her get chewed out for that.
Really?
Yes, you have to stay in scene. Are you kidding me?
Yes. Okay, well, it's still a show, guys. The show
it's still a show. It's a show. It's entertainment. Yeah, you're gonna get in your feelings, but you cannot leave.
One quick question.
Can't leave.
You're working on set right now. So in the interview, Kenya said, "When have you ever seen us break fourth wall?" We were talking about the Glenn situation.
Yeah, I saw that.
So what's your opinion of the fourth wall, being that you are on a reality show that they haven't broke, from what I can think of?
No, they haven't. They broke it one time. But
for a serious situation.
Yeah, it was a fight,
right.
a physical altercation, which in that regard, I feel like the fourth wall should be broken.
There you go.
But we don't always have security. Security's only there certain point. They're two big old black guys, and they're only there. I think I've only seen security. We've been filming since January, and I've only seen them maybe 4 times. So the fourth wall isn't broken, but if things escalate, then you will sometimes see a producer like you. At the end of the day, you get attached to these ladies and you want their best interest. You understand the nature of the beast. We got to crank out a good old juicy dramatic show, but it can't get too crazy. Can't get too crazy.
Right. So I mean, with the fourth wall,
but
there
in
were just some things that I watched.
The fourth wall should have been broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially how she broke down how the Glenn Rice Jr. was acting when she was in here talking about how he was throwing up gang signs and asking people for their shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
It was so necessary for the fourth wall to be broken.
Because no one wants Kenya to get hurt. No one wanted her to get hurt. No one wanted any of the girls to get hurt.
And despite what the same way again, and I just don't understand that.
Yeah. And despite what the show may feel, despite what the cast or us fans may feel, producers and stuff, we have villains on my show.
But I love everybody.
Yeah, I love everybody.
Nobody wants anybody to get hurt.
Because I understand the nature of the damn beast.
Yeah. And these girls do too. Kenya knows what it is. So. But it was interesting. There were a few things I watched the interview back and I was like, oh, I wish I could have re-asked that. Because even at the beginning, I let her kind of run over with the housewife thing. But I'm trying to think who on any of the franchises has never been at least married at one point.
Repeat that.
Which of the housewives have been on any of this?
It's been the case from the beginning, because even in Orange County, you mean like never married in life, or never married on the show?
No, you don't. I'm not saying that. No, because Sheree wasn't married on the show, but she had been a housewife. So it was the story of someone who was of the housewife world.
You were asking, had anybody ever been married?
Yeah,
not ever.
Whereas
been
Kenya,
married.
I don't think
never been married.
Oh yeah, she's no.
So that was my.
Bethany had never been married.
Okay, see, I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't.
Okay.
I'm not certain, but I'm pretty sure she had never been married.
All right, so moving on from there, we get the organic comment.
That was so Medea. That was so Atlanta.
Yeah.
Medea Brown for her to say.
And that was Nene, I love you.
That was a flashback to when Nene said bridesmaids during her special. She couldn't say bridesmaids.
Over and over through her special.
She will not be one of my bridesmaids.
More Maniverse Chateau Charade. We get so Kenya said her house was supposed to be done March 5th, which she cleared up here. She said that she has about 2 more weeks before she can go in.
Okay, girl. Every time somebody talks to you, it's going to be 2 more weeks.
Well, girl, but Sheree out here talking about, for like 4 weeks.
Girl.
I had totally
own that house.
I had totally forgotten that Kenya was throwing all that shade at Sheree at the beginning of the season.
Yes, and they almost fought in their first
she can't pay. Yeah. And who gonna write me a check, boo? They saying Bethany had been married.
Oh. I mean, I don't know. I don't recall it, but
that was my only situation with it. So if you guys can think of somebody, because that's what I always thought the point of the show was to get that perspective.
They had been married, yeah.
All right, so then we get Porsha and Phaedra, their bosom buddies, and Andy reads a comment about Phaedra being fake and how she was judging the girls at the event, but she's half naked at the beach. Which, I mean,
and she said she's not going to be in a cashmere suit on the beach.
She's never been like in a public party or event or something like.
Her tits have been out before. Yeah. Phaedra's, I shouldn't say that.
But Karen Huger's tits have been out before.
So that is true.
She's got new ones now, but
they look good too. Tasteful work.
They're tasteful work.
Tasteful work is the best work.
Candy says she's disturbed because Kim, it's like you're disturbed by twerking and all this, and now it's like you understand it. Which I have to say, when Kenya came in here, she did point out that, remember, what was it that at first? Oh, the Glenn situation. Mm-hmm. If we go back and watch, she did say, oh, he makes me nervous. What is this? And then now on the reunion, she's backtracking.
Yeah. Kim has had some
backtrack moments.
Discrepancy.
Yes, that's what I'm like. What's the word I'm trying to? Indecisiveness and things like that. She's had some back and forth.
Yeah, and I think even with this the twerking and stuff like that, it's like, girl, we know that's not your lane, so don't talk about, you don't know what I do, girl. What you do in your bedroom versus what you do in the public.
Chris might teacher. You never know.
Where's the class?
That wasn't a dig. I bet Chris can twerk the shit out of it, like more than freaking Kim can.
He actually probably could.
She said he's helped her with the moves on Dancing with the Stars.
And she's slaying Dancing with the Stars.
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, I saw the first episode, but she ate that first dance. Like,
really?
she turned it. Yes.
I haven't seen it.
What did you guys think when Nene said Porsha is a different person? I couldn't get Porsha out the house. Now she's twerking.
Well, to me, that makes sense. You couldn't get Porsha out of the... Porsha, it's no secret. When we were first introduced to her, I couldn't stand Porsha because I felt like she was just like, ugh, like y'all setting us back 20 years.
Like a wannabe housewife.
She was so subservient
totally
and so...
disagree. Oh.
She was too subservient for
I don't
me,
think
and that whole
all.
strip club type thing. I felt like she wasn't her own person. I'll say that.
I agree
felt
with
like
that.
Porsha had no identity. She had personality, but she had no identity without Cordell. And for me, that's a problem. Who are you? So I enjoy Porsha single in the city Porsha 10 times more than I prefer updo wearing Porsha in her alleged kitten heels, even though I never saw her in them.
Did she ever? I was trying to think. Did she ever really?
She swears up and down. I don't see Porsha,
I
even
see
as
Phaedra
conservative.
as a kitten girl,
Yeah,
but-
I don't remember her
was.
having it that bad. But yeah, I mean, I think she's a different person. Yeah, but I think it's warranted. You're now single. You're not the same person single as you are married.
You couldn't get me out the house because of the marriage, the way that our marriage was set up.
And
like,
that's what she said. It wasn't like she was like, oh, I'm scared to go. Like,
yeah, it was just the way she was trying to respect Cordell. She made that no secret from the time that we met her. From the time that we were introduced to her. So
the guys come out. Matt brings all the girls flowers. Peter calls Matt his son. Did you take that tension? Was that tension, or were they playing around?
You know
what
what?
did you
I
take?
feel like it was tension from Matt, and I feel like Peter was fucking with him, and Matt's like, "I'm your son, Uncle Ben. Forget you." Like
Matt is
something is not right.
We were saying this off camera. Something about Matt is so inauthentic, and I feel like that's not his real speaking voice. I feel like every time he said something, before he said it, he swallowed and like consciously was like, "Well, you know, no." Like I don't feel like that's his real speaking voice.
I feel like he's goofier than
I feel like
what
if you
we're
ran up
seeing.
and scared him.
But I do believe he
like
has a deep voice. I
professional.
believe he like like that. But I feel like he's more like fun and
feel like
goofy.
he's
Because
trying.
Kenya's personality to me is like, why I don't see her with someone who's just like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like you need me to
I
put this
do.
together. Really?
Yes.
Ew, no.
Kenya is one of the
Well, then
last
that's
few
what Matt-
standing. She's looking to her left and her right just to.
But then Matt is that to me. I mean, he sit there, he's swag, he does all the perfect things
He's
on
giving
television that we've seen. Flowers, puppies, building the house.
He has
the house that they're gonna
he has
sleep
a creep factor,
it's a creep
and
factor.
I hate to say that because I do believe that she is super into him and whatever based on what she was saying in the studio. But there's a creep factor that I just can't.
I feel like I said, I feel like he would be impossible to break up with, and I feel like he's one of those creeps that you may wake up to in the middle of the night just staring at you sleep. Like it's something creepy about him.
Something is weird. I agree. I don't know. Like I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel bad saying it because I believe that she's finally like in love and happy.
CC
But
freak. Matt needs a shot of helium.
I honestly think that you can't pay me to think otherwise. If someone ran up and scared Matt, or if Matt was on an episode of Punk or something, we would see we would hear a totally different voice. I believe so. A mad Matt. I want to see him mad, like really pissed, not agitated by Peter's digs, but really pissed.
Because the way he was with Chris, I would.
That's just agitation. I want to see him mad though. I want to see him fuming, pissed, to see how he acts. And see what that voice sounds like.
He gonna be like Jocelyn Hernandez with the flat roses.
Bye, Carly.
Bye, Carly. So Kim and Chris. So the gay comment comes out. Kenya heard him that he was called Chrissy. She's been in the industry for 20 years, and she's worked with Kim for 20 years, and she worked with her back in the day, and she can't tell if he can. What does he say? I can't tell if he can hoot. Host fashion queens or not. That's what Nene said. Okay, so here was my problem with the Kenya thing with that. Kenya sat in this very black ass studio and said that Phaedra was on national TV saying things in a disparaging way and you can't control the rumors and all of this stuff, and she turned around like she did this to Chris, and then
Kenya just irritates me because she always plays the victim, but she never accepts responsibility for the part that she plays. The same thing that she called Porsha out on is the same thing that she subscribes to, the same ideology that she subscribes to. So when she sat in this studio and was saying that, you know, people are just attacking her and these rumors and all of this, you did the same thing to Chris and you did the same thing to Kim, and it's not fair.
And the thing about Chris, so I saw she had tweeted something. She said, I'm not making anything up. Google his name and see all the stories that pop up. So I Googled his name, and literally every story that I could find for like 3 to 4 pages had Kenya's name attached to it. It was all 2016 stuff. And so then you told me about an article. I went and tried to Google that. And it was it was not detailed at all. But it was no details. It was allegedly an inside source knows that Donnie Mcclurkin is friends with him.
Not Mother Mcclurkin.
Donnie Mcclurkin.
And also that Chris might have ties with Tyler Perry. So are you calling Donnie Mcclurkin and Tyler Perry gay?
Well, Donnie said he's been delivered.
I'm gonna.
Did I make that up? But that's what that's where he stands right now, right? He's been delivered. I don't know how long he's known, or they're saying he knew Donnie before, but like that's like putting him with the 2 guys in Atlanta.
Y'all gonna have to tune into the after show of the after show to get into that conversation.
Well,
maybe I'll Periscope about it.
Nonetheless, Kenya definitely made it a story.
It's a double standard. Sure. And then I didn't appreciate how she sat up here in this studio and said, I think you brought up a rumor about her, and she was like, I've never heard that. I've never heard
Roger Bob.
Which is exactly what Kim is.
But we also heard it today with the boyfriends. Every man on that fucking table at that couch has been called gay other than Greg. Legit.
No. That is true. I've never heard anything. I've heard things about Apollo. I've heard things about Peter
and
Chris,
Matt. And that ain't coming from just AfterBuzz, y'all. Whoever want to be saying all that. These rumors are out there. They're on, what's the one everyone be on? Shade Room Chat, whatever.
I love the Shade Room
and all that. It'd be everywhere.
Entertainment Prescription.
Oh, I like that one.
Baller Alert.
They be everywhere. It ain't just here at AfterBuzz. We ain't just pulling shit out our ass. Anyways, so Chris says, I'm a performer. I'm not immune to people talking trash. As a man, I know me, and my wife knows me. Right, and you should have ended it right there.
Period.
Signed, sealed,
and
delivered.
I like how he got Kenya together when he said, who are our mutual friends who call me Chrissy?
Because she said
Google it. She just retreated back into her, because she knows she wrong. That's what I'm saying. Don't sit up here at AfterBuzz TV talking about woo woo woo, woe is me, and you're doing the same thing on this damn show.
See, we had gotten out of time as we were getting into the Chris stuff. We had to wrap up, so that was kind of irritating. But I did also ask her about the Vivica Fox thing from the Celebrity Apprentice, and honestly, after it was off the show, and I feel like that just wrapped up the tone of the interview, because I was like, I loved you on that show, and it really bothered me because it was just like the Vivica Fox thing was so random, and why'd you have to do it? You were so close to the end. And she was like, well, I didn't say I did it. She was like, you know, it's a known fact that phone was open and it was unlocked. And then she started walking out, and it was just
okay, girl. I have no personal qualms against Kenya, but Kenya, I would have given her the business. I like her, but I would have given her the business.
Chris said, who are our mutual friends? She said, you can Google it. Matt says, address me. She answered you.
Shut up.
He's not going to punch her. He's not going to beat her up. Why are you talking at this point?
And he's like, Matt, shut up. Let them talk.
Matt, this is your first time here, honey. Hush up. Quiet. Like, you're ruining my show now as an executive producer. Let Kenya and Chris talk. Right, let her respond.
She's
not trying to do too much.
They get into the gay rumors about Cordell, which Porsha, zip your mouth, because you didn't like it when people was running around talking about Cordell.
But then Porsha ended up contributing to him.
Contributed to it, exactly.
And then also Porsha, like, you gonna sit on the couch and like you sound crazy when you're like, it was all Kenya.
No,
the videos show it was all y'all, other than Cynthia.
Yeah. Why did we both scratch our eye at the same time?
Because you know it was a
black
lie.
girl.
We know. The lies they all tell.
Yeah.
So, girl, to put it all on Kenya, she said she didn't shade him, but you did. They rolled the tape back.
Yes.
Phaedra says everyone has been called gay. Yada yada. Todd says he's never been. Girl, bye. Out of everyone.
Sheree did that.
Sheree cocked her neck back so high, like, you hadn't heard what I heard.
We live in the same city.
Right.
Andy feels that the girls are gay bashing and taunting
Andy
Chris.
got real sensitive about this issue, and
He did.
Yeah.
But Andy, I have my issues with you as a black woman.
Oh.
Okay, that's just me. I do.
Okay, but I thought you were gonna go for the
woman,
transphobic comment too, because he didn't clock Porsha when she made that.
He did. He did. And I said something about the transphobic comment. But still, Andy, with as far as black people are concerned and all the exploit, and when he made Amandla Steinberg the donkey of the day and all of this, like, Andy, you have not necessarily been the best whatever advocate for these black women who are keeping your channel afloat. Yeah. So don't get all, sensitive about
your
right.
issue.
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you can sit up here and read and drag and kiki with black women or do whatever about black women, then I mean, it's fair ground to me for them to say distasteful things about Chris.
It is the show that you created. You built that sandbox.
But I'm glad he said it, because it isn't pretty, and it was lame to do.
Now, Kenya.
However entertaining.
And I mean, I just
it was entertaining.
In this moment, I'm just like, to the Kenya stands, please.
Wait, which
build
moment?
off this. So Kenya, he asked Kenya, would you apologize? Well, Chris said that Kenya's the only one that didn't apologize.
Yes.
So Kenya came out and she said, if it was somehow offensive, I'm sorry, Christopher.
And Kim feels almost jumped out of her skin.
Keep it, Kenya.
Why is she doing that?
Miss me.
Yeah.
Miss me.
It was just a moment that was like, you could have cleaned it all up.
Just been like, you know what? I did it. I'm sorry.
My bad.
It sucked.
My bad. I was having fun.
That.
I was having
fun. But she
fun.
be the same one.
It was funny and it was good TV.
The same one.
But it wasn't right.
Oh, okay.
Now we get to the Christmas part, Phaedra's Christmas party, talking about the feds with Cynthia in Candy's house. So the cops said that allegedly the cops said they saw it on Watch What Happens Live, which...
It's possible.
I mean, they rolled the receipts and it would have made sense.
And also, I mean, I'm going to tell y'all this. Some of y'all watch Bad Girls Club. This weekend, Amber Meade was on Periscope holding like a machine gun or something, and someone saw her
and
called the police. And literally, the cops come in on her Periscope.
Yeah.
So it's like...
It's totally possible.
People be watching.
So you believe Phaedra?
Honestly, personally, I don't think Phaedra called the feds. Why now? Why so late?
That's what got
just
me.
Off of like a little.
That's what got me.
She been mad at Candy.
Exactly. When Phaedra said that, why would I have waited until now? If I was going to call the feds, I was going to call the feds. Why wait? So that is what made me think that Phaedra, I was like, okay, maybe she did.
And it causes more attention on Phaedra in a negative way if she calling the feds and they checking people's houses. What if something has her name on it?
And Candy didn't even explore the option that, oh, damn, I might have told on my damn self on Watch What Happens Live. She was so hell-bent on Phaedra called.
I don't think she was hell-bent on it. I think they were in a bad place, and it's possible, because every time she get asked about it, she's like, oh, no, she could have did it. I don't really know how. I don't know where we at. Like, she's very
said,
uneven.
I don't feel that Phaedra lacks compassion to the point where, oh, this woman is pregnant and they're expecting a new baby, but I'm about to call the feds.
I call bullshit on that, though. I don't believe she called the feds, but that whole like dramatic, like, do you know who I am? If we were ever friends, blah, blah. If we were ever friends, I know you vindictive as hell and you hold grudges. So it is totally possible that as your friend, I know you well. You know what I'm saying? The Scorpio thing. Like, I know you exactly why I would even consider that maybe you would do it. So don't play that whole
But I'm saying Candy did not even explore the option that she might have incriminated her damn self. That's all I'm saying.
We didn't see that, but we also didn't see her say it definitely was Phaedra. She only said it could have been. Right. I don't really know what to think.
Who knows how they edited it too, so they could have just made Candy could have been like, girl, I really didn't think it,
I would have been like, that
bitch
might have did that. She might have did
now,
that.
I thought it was authentic her saying that to Candy, because I don't believe the pregnancy thing. She would do that to Candy, period, but I definitely don't think she would do that with a child.
Did Kenya look pregnant?
No,
but interesting, she took a picture with us, and then when I looked at it afterwards, she did have her in front of her stomach. But she didn't look pregnant at all. She looked snatched. She looked...
Yeah.
Didn't look
she looked the same like she always does.
All right, so... Todd thinks so too. He thought that, you know, Phaedra's always confused with something, so, you know.
She
He
did a
checked
last
the hell
minute.
out of her.
He got her right.
He got her all the way right. He's
Good
like, you
and
play
together.
this game all the time. You change it up, trying to make it look one
Switch
way.
it
You
up.
only
It's
talking
always
about
an
part
error.
of it. There's a mess. Yeah.
Phaedra, you just there.
And she shut the
just
hell
like
up.
Kenya, there are times where you need to own up, and this was a moment where you just had to say, you know what, you're right. I was fucking going through shit. I was whatever,
And
because
I
you
was
look
pissed
crazy.
off
You're
at
bringing up
you.
his mom. You're bringing up like
When she brought up his mom, I was over her.
was done.
I was
Done.
over her for
so
that.
done. How
And
you
when they
know?
even brought up the timeline, she
You
said
can't
you
bring
hit
up
me
Miss
up in
Tucker.
June.
and we all know this.
Apollo was being sent to jail. The next one was in what?
October.
August.
Why are you talking about
Then
this season?
October. And you owed him this money. Candy said
3
the
years ago.
No, she said the December
was when the
before
final. Yeah.
that
So
year.
it's been over a year.
But for her
Almost
to say,
two.
when your mother died and you called me
Yeah.
and asked me for a favor,
Help.
what?
Well, I'm glad you were compassionate.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Like, come on,
Phaedra
Phaedra.
missed me with that, sis.
Yeah, you don't get
no.
nothing for that one. Candy, you try to tie up loose ends so you look good, and it's true. The fact that you tied
You
it
mean
up,
Phaedra.
Phaedra, yeah.
Phaedra.
The fact that you tied it up
Right
with
before they
Todd
did the
2 weeks
reunion.
before. Come
Yeah.
on. You didn't. You thought we weren't going to talk about it. That's why you're agitated now, because they're bringing it back up, even though you've already washed your hands
And these
clean.
two got they have their facts and their receipts
he
together.
brought the
He's like, I got them printed. She's like, I'm on my phone.
She wasn't-
Girl,
she
you
wasn't
pulling up the
ready.
last 2 emails. He got the history.
I felt like, no, she wasn't ready.
Yeah, she
like,
wasn't.
Phaedra really was not ready for
she didn't
that.
have it ready to come back.
For that nasty
Definitely the
read.
flag.
No, let's talk about nasty. Peter had to get up and leave, and then they get
he had to
into
pee.
the Porsha alley fight.
Ooh. Now, what I
let me
read is
never.
that Porsha, this was weeks ago, Porsha was completely blindsided. She didn't know they had footage of this.
She
Or
didn't
maybe
look
she thought-
blindsided when they put.
Well, she said she was blindsided about the footage, not about them bringing it up, but about take a look at this type thing.
Yeah.
That was crazy to watch. Like, and y'all know that I stand for Porsha, but I was like, girl.
To me,
no,
that
no,
was
no,
out of
an
everything
animal.
that has happened. That is the most violent thing we've seen her do. She literally chased that
It's
girl down,
escalated.
and
And her
then she
Eskimo outfit.
Yes.
and you lied
Lost
about
that.
it. And she lied about it. She said, no, she told Phaedra, I went outside and you don't even believe the things she was saying to me. She had her hands in my face. Girl, you literally chased
ran
her
after
down.
her. I think that the girl is still, correct me if I'm wrong, YouTube community. I think that the girl is still working for Phaedra. I mean, for Porsha, though, if I'm not mistaken. Like, to this day.
Girl, you got drag, you got your hair pulled out.
And to me, that just means it might not have been the first time.
Oh, you right. Because it, ooh,
And everybody got to keep the lights on.
like that's just something you take every once in a while. Porsha,
Yeah,
she
we
be
know
gone.
Porsha's so crazy, girl.
You know,
I can't believe she
crazy.
snatched
couldn't
off her
find my
wig.
Snatched off the whole of the wig, okay?
Oh my gosh.
Dwight said all that wig got snatched off. And Dwight
Dwight-
wearing the hat.
Dwight was a
He
fun
found it in
drunk.
the alleyway.
He was a fun drunk that night.
And Porsha just Phaedra just kind of dismissed it and was like, well, come on back into the fun.
Oh, well, she's trying to take care of her friend.
She
but-
reminds me of Brie Vandekamp for all of you Desperate Housewives fans. Phaedra is the Atlanta Brie Vandekamp. She keeps her cool. She hides her emotions behind her smile. And it could be all different types of clusterfucktivity
Psychosis
going on in her
She don't
house.
move that face.
We will never know.
She got the best poker face.
The best. Just like Brie Vandekamp.
They said, Porsha, like, before the show, were you out here, like, whooping on people? And she said, no,
no,
here's
I've
the
never
thing.
been in
I
these
wouldn't be in these
situations."
isolated situations when someone doesn't like
That
me.
is a point.
This
But-
girl works for you.
I think that's bullshit.
Like, come on, can you put a stick in
I
your
bought
face?
it on the
Sure.
first one. I buy it as the excuse for
I don't
the
have a
first
scepter
one.
and a
The
blowhorn
scepter
in
and
my
blowhorn in my
face.
The
face.
Cynthia
but-
one, I can...
No, because you don't know who you're going to end up on a boat with.
Exactly. I just
But this last one, it's like, girl, this girl works for you. You chased her out.
her down.
And then apparently
she works for you and she's your friend.
Right.
So all this bullshit about these ain't your people, these ain't people I would be around otherwise.
I
I'm
wonder
in a
how
weird
the
single girl
aftermath
vibe.
was for her, because you know when you sign your life away to reality TV, so to speak, they have creative license to do whatever they want with the footage. So I'm pretty sure Jamie was blindsided. She found out that her likeness and image were being used during the reunion when all the rest of us did, and then
we
her
see the
phone blew up.
beatdown.
Like, girl, you
got
okay?
beat down.
You
you
alright, girl? You was looking.
You was in the alley.
You did have a new wig for New Year's. I was just thinking, new year, new hair. But I didn't know it got snatched, girl. You okay?
So is Porsha still gonna give you some of that naked? Nene said said, I've been bullied by everyone on this stage,
That's
and
true.
I haven't
But Nene has
touched.
also been a big bully herself.
Exactly.
But she has gotten dragged. Nene has gotten dragged verbally by everybody.
But
all the time.
but it's because she opens that spirit up.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but she knows how to play in it.
Yes.
Just like I feel like Kenya knows how to play with it. Shar knows how to play in it. Phaedra, she's actually...
You have to
Phaedra
understand
yeah.
the nature of the beast. When you sign up for reality TV.
That's why Cynthia couldn't do it, because she crying and sad and losing friends.
Wait, did you feel Chris was crying?
I did think he got a little misty-eyed.
I got
at one point.
emotional, but I didn't think he was
But he
crying.
sucked it in.
I think he was angry. Because he
But you know how
she's a
sometimes you
despicable
get
human being.
You know how sometimes
Like
you get
Candy.
so angry that you get a little misty-eyed. I think that's what it was. He was so frustrated because I'm sure that's not the first time his sexuality has been called into question, and it seems like
And on
that's a
live
very,
television.
very hurtful topic for him to discuss because the institution of black manhood. I mean, we could talk about it, you know. Masculinity so fragile.
daddy.
Let that man live.
Kenya says some of the other girls are scared of you. Well, before that, she said, Nene, didn't you choke someone? And Nene said, you ain't see that on camera.
Let's use our brains. Hashtag. Let's use our brains. That was the best part to
Check
me.
her, honey. You don't do it on the camera,
But-
okay?
But to me, that's not
Porsha-
even a good excuse, because if you didn't do it, you say, I have never done it. Because you're
Don't
admitting...
we all know she did it, though,
Right.
because it was all over the news, and Kim Zolciak told everybody that it
Right.
happened. So we know
But
it happened.
that's what she said. But did you see
Yes.
me choke somebody? Like, Porsha, you knew better than to run up against a Reed queen like Lanithia Monique Leaks. She gonna gather you
told
every
her
single
name.
time.
And at least in her case, she can be like, that was one time I got out of character. It
but
could
she
happen
never,
to anybody.
she never said that.
She
just
had
said,
to,
let's use our
but she
brains.
could
Did you
have.
see me choke somebody?
But Porsha asked 3 times, girl. 3?
Yeah.
And that's 3 we know about.
Right.
Do you guys think that's the girls are legit scared of Porsha on this show?
No.
I don't think they're scared of her.
Uncomfortable.
But I do think like Kenya and Cynthia
Definitely
and Kim
Cynthia.
are like, we don't want to confront, like we don't want to be confrontational about anything because it would lead to possibly a fight that we can't be a part of or can't deal with. But the other women are like, nah, we'll beat
First
your
of all,
ass.
Candy
Like, yes,
is
we
not
think it's
one
gonna be-
to be
We
toyed
will
with
beat your
because
ass.
Candy was
I ain't
beating
never been to
Latasha
say
and
no.
Tamika's
ass in Escape. If you watch their Unsung on TV one, then you know
they got
exactly what I'm talking about.
physical.
Candy almost fought Nene.
Took him down, took
Yeah.
him down,
Bring
took him
it
down.
on down.
So,
Bring it on
I think
down.
that she agreed that we're uncomfortable because we don't want to have to go there. But Sheree, Candy, and Lanithia will go there and
Nene
win.
sat right
in
next
that
to her like,
space.
I'll pop her.
I'll pop her.
But Nene was giving her, in all seriousness, words of wisdom. Like, people are not going to work with you.
true.
People are going to say, we're not going to put Porsha for this club appearance because Porsha don't know how to act. Porsha is ratchet. Like, that was the realest advice I've ever heard
But
Nene
she's
give
had to
Porsha.
experience that. Nene's had to experience
Yeah.
that from what we've
Well, in
heard.
these Hollywood streets.
Yes.
Oh, don't hire that housewife because she's loud, obnoxious, big with a blonde wig, and she's not professional. Like, she's had to kind of combat that, but that's the realest piece of advice
Yep.
I've heard Nene pass on to
sure.
Porsha.
Hopefully
Because
she
people are
listens.
not going to want to work with you once they see that you're violent.
Hopefully your anger management works, girl.
And I did like that Kim
Brought up that we should
brought it up
celebrate.
because I think that
Yeah, you know you have a problem.
with people who have grew up with problems and they have like in their
That's
head,
it.
you know what I mean? It's almost like you have to treat them like a child when they are doing good, and it's like, all right, girl, as long as you
Well,
in
no,
there,
not even so much as that. It's always nice to be reaffirmed.
Well, yes.
And Porsha was sitting up there being picked apart and dissected from everyone on the cast. That's why she singled out Andy and said, Andy,
But
I'm
she
gonna
also
answer
asked
your...
for it.
But
She
you
said, I have been remorseful after
remorseful.
every situation.
And that's not
That
the
is
case.
true. But even still,
But-
I totally agree with Kim.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it has anything to do with your upbringing or what you might have gone through. Porsha deserves, anybody trying to take steps
themselves.
to better themselves deserves acknowledgement. I don't see why not.
Congratulations, Porsha. Next time you talk about it, probably you should talk about what it's doing for you and not what everybody else
Well, didn't she
did.
just start? And like she said, I'm not here to talk about my journey with this with people who don't care about it.
Yes, you are. You are on a reality
Yeah,
TV
you're
show
at the
about your
reunion.
life, supposedly. That's bullshit.
With these women who are
Stop copping
in your
out. Be
group.
like, you know what? I've only been to one class. I ain't really got that much yet, but I'm working
Well,
on
they
it.
did.
And be
She
done
did
with
say it was
it.
fresh.
No, she didn't.
After she listed off what everybody else has done, and that's why she was doing what she was doing.
Kenya says you blame everyone else. You don't take responsibility, and you are not
And
cured.
Kenya, you got
Same.
your motherfucking nerve.
It's so sad because
You got your nerve.
It's a good point, but coming from you, it doesn't mean as much.
Like if Cynthia said it would have been like, oh, there you go, Cynthia.
No,
Even
Candy would have had to say.
Cynthia didn't
Candy
own
would have
up
had to say.
to not claiming that Kenya was her friend.
Oh,
She
yeah.
known up to
Because
that.
she don't think Kenya her friend for real. She her friend for TV. Keep it all the way real. She know that's her friend
I don't.
on
No.
TV.
I think that Cynthia
her
had.
friend
That's something
on
that she
TV.
had to learn. Because Cynthia takes friendships very seriously. I feel like that's something that she had to learn, that there's a difference for friends for these cameras, for this contract. We're going to go out to eat and have a good time, and my real friends.
And my real life contracts. So what we got kind of a wrap up for everyone. Portia's going to church with Phaedra. Get some Jesus in your
Praise the
life,
Lord,
girl.
praise the Lord.
Candy feels Phaedra and them are kind of going backwards after today, which
Fair enough.
I
I'd
mean,
be
in
pissed off.
fairness,
I would be
after-
pissed off when she brought up his mama.
I was done with her.
that's like
That was.
you sound crazy, girl.
You can't.
You
Ain't no
sound awful.
backtracking.
You sound inhumane. You sound like a cruel ass bitch.
Ain't no
Like,
backtrack. Right.
That's just below the
That was
belt
very
in a different
inhumane.
whole nother way. Like that was some bullshit.
You don't bring up Mama Sharon
No, man. She just passed. Like, give me a break. No.
over a workout DVD.
Yes. Over some money.
Like that's why I respect what Sheree said about her relationship with Nene. How everything's been kind of surface. I know your secrets. You know mine.
Yeah,
but
they've
we
been talking about each
understand.
other's teeth and each other's wigs.
We understand what this is. Like I understand. Like Phaedra, that was that hit below the belt.
There's shade and then there's being malicious.
Yep.
So what are we
Evil.
rating the season?
Evil. The season?
Season overall. A plus?
Oh, hell
B
no.
plus?
No, I give this season a. I'm gonna say a B minus.
Okay.
I'll give it a hard B.
I was giving it a hard C+.
Okay.
So we're all around the same.
It was average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Kenya confirmed Stacey Dash will not be a part
She said
of
absolutely not.
That's a
Because
But she
Andy's
would
not a
like-
fan, right?
She would like Nene back
Yep.
full time.
Well, I
We'll
thought we
see how
heard
they-
that was happening.
When
They're
Nene
in
was coming back.
talks. They're in talks.
I really wish
Away.
Cynthia wouldn't have canceled because I have so many questions.
Girl.
Especially regarding
but-
her and Peter.
Yeah, but that's why I feel
That's
like
probably why.
Because the block is too
She's-
hot right
yeah,
now, and
she
she's
let
probably
it
one of
die
those people
down.
who wants to preview the questions before you ask them.
hospital.
I
Lord
can't stand
knows.
those interviews. No
right,
thanks.
because we have conversations here, y'all,
I
because
know.
we ain't there.
And we're respectful of everybody here. Look how kind we were to Kenya.
Boom. On that note, we want to
Come
thank
on
y'all
in.
for tuning in all season long.
All
You guys
season.
kept that
Y'all
chat
kept
room
with it, even when
lit.
it was boring.
We will be
Stay with
back,
it.
but if you guys miss us, we got Potomac for a couple more weeks. Well, we got the reunion.
more.
Probably one.
Please,
week.
only one. Even
One
though we
more
love
week.
y'all. B, C,
We got
C.
C+. Oh, somebody gave him a
a
D.
D minus. Damn.
Oh, C+.
Good thing you wasn't my teacher. You guys
Yeah,
can hit us
Cynthia done
up.
canceled a bunch of times. She was supposed to do a couple other shows. Moving on. Go on.
All right.
Yes. Reunion was a B? Okay. All right.
Wasn't the best.
I give the reunion a B and then the season a
I wish
C.
Nene
and
would have
that's why I
done
got
the
a C+.
whole reunion.
But she wasn't there for enough.
Still, just her presence.
like
I
just
just
Would have made it worth
yeah.
it. All right, well, make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV. Also, subscribe to us on iTunes, and you guys can talk to me on social media at DJ Jesse J.
You can find me at Shar Says So.
And I'm at Stewart Starlet.
Till next season, peace.
Oh my God. That's November.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Courtney, Stefan, Nicolette.
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.